Hey, it's Lemon. Welcome to the Backlogs. Hope you're doing well. Today, we're going against my namesake and taking a look at a game that just came out. And I know, my backlog isn't getting any smaller, but sometimes it's nice to check the pulse of the gaming industry and see if it's still kicking. Because let's be honest, it's getting a little ugly out there lately. Oh hey look, I found a live one! Atomfall, a new game from Rebellion, who just so happened to sponsor today's video. A big thanks to them for giving me early access and luring me away from my daily Dark Souls addiction to play their game. Launched on March 27th, 2025 on all platforms, Atomfall is, well, it's self-described as a single-player action survival game, but I don't think that really does it justice. You've got action, and you've definitely got survival, but you've also got all sorts of areas and bunkers to explore, a really well-written and fleshed out narrative, all sorts of crafting to do, and a whole slew of fun and interesting NPCs to interact with. And unlike other games of its type, Atomfall leans very heavily into player freedom. Want to kill an NPC that plays a major part in the storyline? Go on, do it. You won't. Oh God, Lemon, why? I mean, that's refreshing to see that you can do that, but why? You can also make all sorts of builds, and because of the aforementioned ability to ruin any NPC's day, there's a multitude of ways to complete the game, which means the replayability is definitely high. So yeah, Atomfall is definitely more than your average action survival game. Something that I think you'll realize by the time we're done here today. And if you want to add it to your own rotation, click my link in the description or in the pinned comment and play Atomfall on Game Pass, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, PS5 and PS4, and PC via Steam or Epic Games. But in any case, now that I've got my hands on it, there's only one question to ask. Can you beat Atomfall with only explosives? Right then, new game! Looks like we've got several difficulty levels to choose from, which, in typical Rebellion fashion, is completely customizable. You can change everything from enemy AI to loot scarcity, and even toggle certain in-game mechanics like infinite sprint. Can I just say how much I love that this is becoming more and more of a thing these days? For today's challenge run though, I chose the recommended difficulty level, Survivor, with no other modified changes. It's fine. Everything's fine. Story time. Atomfall is an alternative history of a real-life event, the Windscale Fires. Fun fact of the day, in 1957, 2 nuclear reactors in Cumberland, UK, the Windscale Piles, caught fire for 3 days straight and released radioactive fallout across all of Europe. The UK government kept it all very hush-hush to avoid harming US-UK nuclear relations, so you're forgiven if you've never heard about this event. Wait, that wasn't a fun fact. That wasn't fun at all! But back to Atomfall. We're gonna explore a different timeline. A timeline that asks, what if it wasn't just a fire? What if it was something else entirely? Something that generated an interference field that made all aircraft in the nearby vicinity crash and made any form of communication in or out impossible. Something that the UK very quickly hid behind massive concrete walls, meant to keep everyone out, or something else in. Right, time to get started. As any good game does, we start the game with zero understanding of who we are and what the situation is. Our sleep is interrupted by a man in a hazmat suit, who seems to be very injured and very confused about who we are and what we're doing here. And this interaction leads to our first choice of the game, what kind of player we want to be. When talking to NPCs, the game gives you multiple options to choose from, listing the tone on the left so you know how it'll come across to the NPC, which is appreciated, considering, you know, this.
You young boys, Valdez. Are you a madman?
Anyway, I'm gonna play the game like I'm me, which means we're going the lovably ignorant and helpful route. Because we weren't immediately hostile, my guy here tries to fill me in on the situation. He also makes an offhand comment about his thoughts still being his own, but I'm sure that's nothing. We're currently trapped inside the quarantine zone around the Windscale nuclear plant. How we got here and how we escape is still a mystery for another time, but our new friend here seems to think that we're the best hope for getting to the heart of things, and says he has a keycard that can get us there. But first, we need to stop the worrying amount of blood my guy is losing. Luckily, we just learned our first recipe, bandages. And because I'm a helpful kind of fellow, I search around the bunker for some cloth and alcohol to craft one, then hand it over. And while it might not save his life, it's enough to convince my buddy to hand over that keycard of his. Not sure I like the fact that the keycard says attempt 17 on it, but that's a problem for another time. To illustrate how this could have played out differently, one could just snap the scientist's neck and take the keycard from him without a second thought. But because we're willing to help him, he tells us that he'll repay us if he survives his injury. Somehow I don't think we're gonna get to cash in that favor, but it's a nice gesture all the same. Right then, let's get out of here. I use the special keycard to open the door, which, well, shoot, I hope that guy has enough life in him to make attempt 18. Ah, never mind. Card works fine, I think. And with our freedom, we get introduced to the quest system of this game, or Atomfall's version of it anyway. Unlike other games which slap a big "go here next" symbol on your compass and map, Atomfall only records what your character knows. You can track each lead you get as they come up, but that just means it'll display on the top left of your screen from time to time to remind you what you're doing, not create a guideline for you to follow. No hand-holding here. Use your brain and figure it out for yourself. Well, hey, this doesn't look so bad. I mean, the structure of the building is pretty roughed up, but at least it's green. Don't do that. Well, anyway, now that that's done, let's continue. Oh, hello. Yep, backing away slowly. So fun little gameplay mechanic in Atomfall, not every enemy is immediately hostile. Just like in real life, most people don't just run at you swinging. If you back up slowly, chances are they'll leave you alone. Probably. Well, what have we here? Let me just scoot on through this tiny hole. There we are. And if we just follow the bloody footprints, we can... Oh, wait a minute, empty bottle. Right, sorry. Hello, citizen. Are you in need of assistance? Oh, you're dead. Oh, hey, lore. Let's see, scientist trying to fix a radio, outlaw sniffing around. Yeah, okay, I think I see what happened here. Now we could go full vigilante mode and give this poor man's killer the old quarantine justice, but that's against the rules. So instead, we're just gonna scoot by and hope he doesn't feel like following me today. And just like that, we're through the tutorial. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Slatin Dale, the first area of the game. So, do you think that's where we need to go? Probably not, right? Well, guess we ought to check it out anyway. Now who could be calling at this hour? It's 5 minutes to midnight.
Bugdom must die.
Melon? Melon, is that you?
Bugdom must die.
Huh. Must have been a wrong number. I raid a nearby house for any and all scraps I can find, including this here knife, then continue exploring the nearby area, climbing up onto bridges and anywhere else that stands out to see what I can find. Gotta say, I really like the old-timey aesthetic this world has going on. Very fun stuff. Oh hey, look, a cricket bat. You done using it? Not that we need to know for our current challenge run, but weapons in Atomfall are pretty simple to understand. You've got damage, speed, and auxiliary effects. No number crunching necessary, just a good old-fashioned adjective system. And yes, you can throw the knives. And just like that, I've summoned JK leads. For my actual attempt though, I have a simple solution. Let me just act all aggressive right quick, create some distance, and with a little luck we can... hello? Who said you could throw Molotovs? That's my shtick. And now that he's out of the way, I could rush into this helicopter, get whatever is hiding inside, and we should probably look over everything we just found later, judging by the explosions I'm hearing outside. Ah, a mine. The perfect hiding spot. You know, maybe this wasn't my best idea. Ah well, can't exactly turn around now. Molotov Marvin is waiting for me outside. That note and key I found at the helicopter mentions some supplies that were left behind in case of emergency, along with some map coordinates. The game isn't just going to point out where to go, but with my incredible brain, I can line up the coordinates and put a marker on my map so I know to check the area out later. Moving forward, we find a few materials hidden around the mine, but look what I just found on a nearby body. A good old-fashioned pineapple. Looks like a Mills bomb number 5, if I had to guess. Now that's some attention to historical detail. Can't wait to try this out on the old boy outside. What's that noise? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh god. Oh shit. Run fast. Run faster. Oh, thank god, a light source. Bats hate light. Wait a minute. No, they don't. Bats are blind. I mean, they're not, but oh hey, never mind, it worked.
Are you all right? If you don't mind me saying so, you look proper peaky.
My dude, you just saw me running away from an entire swarm of bats. Looking peaky is the least of my worries. My guy here doesn't know much about the government project or the interchange, so no progress there. And once again, we've got someone mentioning not being fully alone in their thoughts. Yeah, we're just gonna ignore that one. Reg here seems nice enough, and I don't want to insult the man. Reg tells me where the mines go, which might be useful to know later, and is also open to trading. Trading in Atomfall is based around a bartering system. There's no currency inside the quarantine zone, only favors and materials everyone needs to survive. Reg here has some items that help with burning, a bunch of gunpowder, a couple tools that sound very useful, an axe I can't use, and Unfortunately, even if I were to give Reg everything I have, it's not worth as much as that recipe. Damn. Well, guess we'll have to come back for it later. I mean, we could just murder him and blame it on the bats. It's not like there's anyone else around, and knowing how to make my own grenades would be useful. Nah, that's silly. You're silly. Why would you even suggest that? Well, might as well check out where this tunnel goes. It's gotta be better than running through the bats again. Fresh air. Skethermore, huh? Okay, that sounds alright. Let's see. We've got a whole new map to... Do you guys hear that? So, back the way we came then? That about right? Ooh, is that a metal detector over there? That saved me some trading. Don't mind if I do. What's that noise? You know, I should really stop asking the question. Oh, fuck, they jump. But hey, new tool. The metal detector. Basically a treasure finder. It'll ping whenever there's buried treasure nearby. Just keep your ears open and an eye out for the indicator, then go in the direction of the red light until the gauge underneath gets to 10. When it goes haywire, all that's left to do is to dig up your goodies. It may not always be something you desperately need, but considering everything in this game is worth something to someone, it's never a bad idea to pause what you're doing to grab some free loot. I sneak my way around the nearby abandoned town that's absolutely lousy with bandits, then find a poorly laid trap that's hiding some very important loot. Let me just work my way around here. There we are. And barred crate reached. And more importantly, a training stimulant. These little doohickeys give you skill points, which brings us nicely into the skill page. Right now, I've got 12 unlocked skills, but there are books out in the world that will unlock more if you find them. As far as the skills themselves go, they each cost a different amount. Some, like kickstun duration, only cost 1, while others, like disarm traps, cost 3. There's a few skills in here that I'll absolutely be wanting before the run is over, but they're all pretty expensive, so we'll talk about those when we can actually afford them. Until then though, let's do a bit more snooping around. I find a letter that explains that the interchange facility was built in a quarry, then find our next tool, a flashlight. Aside from the very obvious use of creating more light, the flashlight has a secondary ability. Anytime the light goes over an item that can be picked up, that item will flash, making it stand out more amongst the garbage. Not incredibly useful, but it's a nice quality of life addition. Also, since it's on my mind, can I just say how nice it is that our character can actually squeeze through small gaps? None of this can't get over a knee-high wall crap. If you see a small hole that would be easy enough to reach up and scurry through, you can just go on ahead and do it. Same goes for thin gaps in walls. Keep that in mind, we'll probably use that again in the future. In any case, while rifling through the houses in the village, I found a .22 caliber just sitting there collecting rust. Now obviously, I can't use it, but that doesn't mean I can't point it at people. If someone's getting feisty, you can point a weapon at them in a threatening manner, and if they think you've got the upper hand, they'll back off. Stupid idiot, thinks I have bullets. Now, it's not foolproof. Enemies tend to be a bit bolder when they're in large groups, or if they have firearms of their own, but it's definitely a tool in your toolbox. And after searching pretty much every nook and cranny, I finally arrived at the coordinates we found earlier, and found a lockbox that just so happened to match the key we found in that helicopter. Let's see what we... The number 74 grenade, aka the sticky bomb. This particular grenade was used in World War II to stop tanks, when Britain realized they had no effective counter to German armored vehicles. Haven't seen any vehicles around just yet, but I did see that giant robot. Probably worth noting. I find a note mentioning something with gray skin scuttling about in the mines, which means we're never going back in there again until I've got something good to trade with Reg. Then immediately find something worth all the jewels in the British crown. A tin of English breakfast. Fancy a cuppa? Oh, and also a pistol, I guess. You know, whatever. You know, I should probably get back to the main mission. I think I've lost the plot. Oh, hey, what's that? Boy, sure are a lot of rib cages out here. Yeah, well, I'm sure it'll be okay. It's not like we're going into a dank, dark bunker that's clearly seen several murders in the last few years. You know, I think we might have made a mistake. Nothing to see here, just a bunch of old towels. Oh, and whatever the fuck that is. Well, the good news is that if you're quiet, they don't seem to notice you. So we'll be okay for now. The better news is that I just found a pneumatic tube. Basically a storage chest. Any pneumatic tube you find out in the world can access the things you put into it. So feel free to empty your pockets as needed. Lemon, I know you see the crate and that you want to get all the goodies you can, but I need you to leave it alone. Lemon, come on, man, stop. Come on, man, stop. It's not funny anymore. Oh my god, that actually scared me. Luckily, the ferals are a little slower than you when you run. So if you can scurry into a small space, you can hide away in a dark corner and cry until they go back to their dormant state. And, after being a bit quieter than last time, I was able to find a memo listing the Slatindale interchange entrance. See? Getting distracted is a good thing sometimes. Now I just need to nope. Come on, Lemon, move your fat ass. Ow. Alright, well, don't like that. Guess we know what everyone's been talking about now, though. Apparently, this is a thing that's been happening to a lot of people lately. They get infected somehow, start hearing voices in their head that tell them to go join the voice in the soil, and, well, I'm not really sure what happens after that yet. I do my best to sneak through the rest of the bunker, remembering at the worst time that I'm actually terrible at stealth games, then got brutally murdered by an entire pack of ferals. But it's okay. If I stay out of melee range, they can't hit me, and I just gotta look for an opening, and they can spit some sort of acid at me. Alright then. Well then, how about some of this? Holy hell, that took out half my health bar. But it was worth it, because not only did I find health kits, but I found not one, but 2 training stimulants. And after realizing that running around a corner helps keep me from blowing myself up, I crawled through some vents to get through a locked door and made my way into... Oh, wait, never mind. We're okay. It's just rats. And after finding another 2 training stimulants, I found a new bomb type, the nail bomb. It does a little explosive damage, but is mainly focused on making its targets bleed. Interesting. Now for a bit of testing. Turns out, the swarms in this game appear to be triggered when you step into certain areas. Normally you can kick and punch your way through swarms, or use bullets if you're feeling expensive, but we don't have that luxury, so we gotta get creative. Ta-da! I present for your viewing pleasure the floor is lava technique. Just get off whatever space is causing the swarm to home in on you, and you're good to go. And once the swarm is returned to its nest, you now have a little extra time to grab any nearby loot without getting eaten alive. Like another training stimulant. Well, that wasn't so bad, and it only took a few grenades to get through. Not too shabby. And now that we're safely outside, we can actually read all the papers I found in there. So good news, bad news. The bad news is that all those ferals I killed were scientists. The good news is that we now have 6 skill points to toss around, which means every skill is now on the table. That said, there's only 3 that I really have my eye on right now. Throwable's radius, which increases my grenade's AoE, Throwable's damage, which is self-explanatory, and disarm traps, which lets me harvest all the traps we've been seeing for their parts, and, if the trap has one, grenades. Considering my grenades are already killing things in one hit, and nearly killing me as it is, disarm traps is probably my best bet right now. And just like that, we've unlocked a way to get more ammunition until I can find more recipes. You'll love to see it. Oops. How about a bit more exploring? Is that a guitar I hear?
Hey up, stranger. Blimey. You must have taken a knock on the noggin or something. Still, you're looking decent fettle now.
He's trying to tell me something, I just know it. Our boy Nat here gives me a few rumors to go off of, and mentions someone named Molly. Guess we'll find her. Ooh, what's this delightful change of pace?
Not seen you around here before. Your lot shouldn't be wandering this far out village. It's safe. That is where you came from. The village.
And now we know there's a village nearby. You seem friendly enough. Got any info about the interchange?
I might just know the location of 1 or 2 of them. Not that that kind of thing comes for free, you understand.
But what if I know someone named Nat?
You've met old Nat. He's a good soul, is Nat. Could talk the hind legs off a donkey. Well, any friend of his is a friend of mine.
Hey, kindness wins again. Molly here tells me the location of an interchange door. Sadly, I think it's the same one I discovered the location of back in the bunker, but hey, it's not like it cost me anything, so no harm done. But more importantly, Molly has some good stuff in her inventory. She's got a stealth skills book, the key to a door somewhere, and a recipe for creating shivs. I better not buy that last one. We don't want to summon the challenge punter again. Time to offload all that crap I found in the bunker. I give her all the weapons I can't use, along with their ammo.
Ooh, now that's nice.
Oh, hey, a new mechanic. Every merchant has things they want and don't want. Give them something they want, and it'll sway the scales in your favor more than normal, which means we can easily afford the skill book and key. And screw it, why not? Let's just buy the shiv recipe too. You never know.
Hey, it's JK.
What are you? Get out of my recording booth. Now then, let's see what we can learn. Ooh, those look fun. Looks like each book gives you an additional 3 skills. Good to know. Of the 3 we learned, I can only use 1, quiet movement, which makes my footsteps harder to detect. Good for getting through areas without having to resort to using all of my hard-earned explosives. Yeesh, what happened here? Some sort of ambush by the looks of things. Wait a minute, are those arrows? Oh no, are you telling me there's a bow in this game? Oh man. Ah crap, bandits have me pinned in. Gonna have to make a break for it. And they're hostile now. Get back, I'm a donkey on the edge. So yeah, threatening enemies with a prime grenade works just as well as a gun. Good to know. What is that? Is that the village Molly was talking about?
In the name of Queen and country, follow protocol or face the consequences.
Well, they sure seem like a fun bunch. But before we go in there, let's finish exploring the map. What's this area? Oh, off limits apparently. When you're in a trespass zone, enemies will immediately become hostile towards you when they see you, no matter how much you threaten to throw a grenade at them. Well, if threats won't stop you, I guess we'll have to use the real thing. Well dang, that works. While making my way through the camp, it became very clear to me that I wouldn't have enough grenades to handle everyone. A problem that I'll probably have to deal with the entire run. So instead, I made a 3-step plan. Step 1, avoid combat if at all possible. Step 2, if step 1 fails, use my explosives to kill anyone who has a gun. And step 3, use a gun or any remaining explosives I have left to intimidate any survivors. It'll take a few encounters to really nail down how well the strategy of mine works, but for now, I think the bandits have learned that you don't mess with the man who sets everything around him on fire. Well, some of them anyway. But with the bandit camp looted, I guess it's time to see what's going on in Windham Village.
Well. Just look what the cat dragged in.
I mean, I don't know what my wife has to do with anything, but alright. Apparently, this village is A-OK with visitors, so long as they aren't actively bandits. Seems like a bit of a flawed system, considering all a bandit would have to do is not wear their face paint to sneak in. But hey, you do you. The village itself seems to be doing alright, though there's definitely some animosity in the air. Lots of civilians complaining about the soldier presence, and a lot of soldiers complaining about the general disrespect of the civilians. Can't say I blame anyone in this particular situation. Seems like everyone thought quarantine would be over by now, but from the sound of things, this has been going on for years now. Oh, also, they have a robot, so if we do ever play an evil playthrough, it might not be a good idea to go into the village guns blazing. Man, I cannot get over how pretty this village is. Makes me want to visit Europe. Is, someone gonna get that? No? Okay, I'll take the call, I guess.
This land looks safe. This land is not safe. You should be cautious in this land. This land may kill you.
Alrighty then, didn't like that. Hey Sarah, I think the call was for you. I do a little metal detecting in town, uncovering caches all over the place, and look at what I found. Is that a new bomb I see? Yes indeed. The poison bomb. Can't wait to give that one a test drive. What else is going on in town? Oh hey, is that a church? Whose blood do you gotta drink to get a buzz around here? Oh god, is that a murder? Man, this game is just doing everything it can to keep me from getting into the main quest, huh? I love it so much! Right, sorry, keep getting distracted. Should probably let dead bodies lie and focus, otherwise we'll be here all day. I poke around the church basement, because having more materials for crafting explosives is always a plus. Find some papers that seem to indicate that a scientist named Garrow was taken to a prison in Skethermore, then find a locked door in the back. Suspicious. There's also a big chest that requires the vicar's key, and up on the roof, I find a lead on the murder case. Where were you on the night of the 17th? But no, what I actually found was a note about the cellar, and how noises come from there from time to time. Suspicious. And we've only scratched the surface of this village. I feel like I'm skipping over 3/4 of the interesting tidbits I found. But for now, let's just focus on talking to the guy in charge. Captain Sims here is your typical gruff military commander, trying to keep peace and order in times that directly oppose such ideas.
If we were to work together, you and I, perhaps we might make some progress towards such an outcome. But step out of line, and I will revoke your liberties here just as quickly as they were given.
See what I mean? Captain Sims wants me to investigate the locals for him, and will reward me for doing so. I ain't no snitch. I mean, yeah, the barkeeper is definitely involved in some sort of black market smuggling thing. The Reverend is probably hiding an atomic battery in that chest we saw earlier, whatever that is. And there's some weirdness going on at the bakery, but that's just normal village stuff. So the baker's husband tried to sneak into a nearby entrance to the interchange, so what? It's not like anything bad ever came from someone exploring somewhere they shouldn't be. Ooh, what the hell, man? I ain't no snitch. Okay, so maybe the villagers are up to some shit, but I still don't like the captain very much, so instead of working with him, let's find another way to meet our end goals. Lemon, what are you doing? No, stop exploring the secret tunnel underneath the pub. We have to focus. Why don't you ever listen to, oh hey, are those new grenades? Yep. We finally got one of those makeshift grenades Reg was offering all those hours ago, which just explodes like a regular pineapple grenade would, and we've also got something called an explosive lure. Looks like all those bats, rats, and leeches are about to get what's coming to them. And would you look at that? The secret tunnel took me right into the Skethermores. The sun is shining, the grass is green, the goats are pulsating. I'm no animal expert, but I don't think they're supposed to do that. Never mind, that's normal. But after checking my clues and map for a few minutes, it turns out we actually know of 2 entrances to the interchange. One in the dale, and another right in the center of the village. Considering this one is easier and safer to access, I think it's about time we see what all the fuss is about. Let me just force my way in, and there you have it, the interchange. And with one more swipe of the card, the big, definitely not intimidating at all door swings open, and we can push forward on our mission. Whatever this facility was supposed to be, it certainly doesn't do it anymore. I mean, look at this. You got blue mold all over the place, and don't get me started on the rat problem. Lucky for you, I just so happen to be a part-time exterminator. Lurbomb out. Huh, yeah, that works pretty good. I do some snooping and find out that this facility was harvesting something that was making all sorts of amazing discoveries possible. Things like atomic batteries, which are essentially lithium batteries on steroids, and even those training stimulants we keep popping every chance we get. Unfortunately for everyone involved, it looks like whatever they were harvesting breached the containment they had it in, and spread throughout the facility, which in turn infected everyone inside. And those that didn't turn into ferals immediately started hearing voices. Voices of those that have died. Voices telling them to go to the woods. What I guess I'm trying to say is that there's no way in hell that I'm going to the woods. I'll take my long, dark, and spooky hallway, thank you very much. Central processor, huh? Alright, let's see what we've got. I think I see what happened here. Oh good, there's a phone.
Do you require the operator?
If you're offering, sure.
Listen, everything depends upon the interchange. It must live again. And then Oberon must die. Oberon must.
Sheesh, talk about a broken record. It's almost like he doesn't trust me to remember that the interchange must die and Oberon must live. Wait, well, we'll worry about that later. For now, let's shove this atomic battery in the atomic battery slot and see what happens. Mr. Hammond, I think we're back in business. Huh, that's weird. I usually get attacked by raptors when I say that. Looks like the plug was pulled for the interchange back when quarantine was enacted in an attempt to keep whatever's inside here from spreading. But as we've already seen in the hallways and up above, that's not really working anymore. Guess it's up to us to figure out what to do with the place. Oh, that's not ominous at all. But until then, stimulants! That brings me up to 6, which means we can get the throwable radius upgrade. Don't mind if I do. In any case, looks like we need to find the doors to each of the 4 units, power them up with atomic batteries, and then turn on the central processor if we're gonna get into Oberon. Sounds easy enough. In fact, we know where one of the doors is already. Fucking why? And look, I've already found Data Store Alpha. 1 door unlocked already. Now we just need to plug in a battery and we can... Okay, this might take a little longer than I thought. But because I've already done a lot of poking around, I already have several places we can start. I asked the bartender if he knows anywhere I can get my hands on some more bard equipment, and he tells me about something called a signal redirector. He doesn't know what that is, but he does know someone else who can point me in the right direction. Naturally, his contact is in Skethermore. You know, the place that every time I enter it, something violent happens. Guess we don't have a choice this time. Oh, look, the goat is still there. And it's growing. Yeah, no, I don't want to know. All I know is that the soldiers here are reportedly very jumpy, and that I should mind my distance if I don't want to get shot on sight. So naturally, I immediately started sneaking around in a bunker full of soldiers. Alright, well, maybe sneaking is too strong a word. More like, started a small fire. Alright, fine, a medium-sized fire. I did find a dead scientist with a keycard though, and a note that says that the box it goes to holds one of the scientist's greatest discoveries, but was confiscated by soldiers. Guess we'll hold on to that thought for later. More importantly, I found 4 stimulants, which means I can now unlock the throwable damage skill. If you thought those fires were big before, you got another thing coming. I'm gonna die from my own explosions, aren't I? In other news, back on the surface, it looks like the goats and other animals that are infected are starting to have a real impact on the surroundings. Starting to get real color out of space up here. I was able to find a recipe for the nail bomb while scurrying towards my objective though, so that's something. As well as what appears to be one of those giant robots drowned in a pond. Let me just do a little fishing to get those leeches out of the way. And with that taken care of, we can grab ourselves an atomic battery. Nice. Oh, I also found that Nora person the bartender told me to look for.
Who the hell are you? No sort of moves or I'll shoot you dead. Who told you I was here? Who sent you?
You know, in fairness, I probably shouldn't have snuck up on her before talking to her. Nora doesn't have any explosive recipes, but she does have another atomic battery. And it's not like we were using all this ammunition anyway, so might as well trade for it. What about interchange doors? Got any of those lying around?
I know there's a door in the army camp to the south of here. I also know they'll kill you before you get within spitting distance of it.
Oh good, more soldiers. My favorite. Nora confirms the rumors that Dr. Garrow is in fact in prison, and also mentions that she's heard tale of a secret shipment somewhere in Skethermore. Not much else to go on with that one, but it might be worth a look. Oh hey, a dead body, with a note titled "Nobody else could hear it ringing," and a telephone booth nearby. Sounds like I'm not the first person who's interacted with the operator before. I don't know if that makes it more real or less. All I know is the damn phone keeps ringing. Someone's gotta answer it.
You have secured an atomic battery. This is good. You will require more atomic batteries.
Well, yeah, I already knew that. Hello? Hello? Well, at least we know the voice isn't lying to me, or at the very least isn't always lying to me. It's all very unclear at the moment. I need to go clear my head. Here, hold this. Ah, well, I feel better. What was I doing again? Pest control? Maybe. God knows this bunker needs it. Fire in the hole! You know, something I've noticed, but the lure grenades don't always seem to work 100%. There's always one or two varmin that get away. Nail bombs, though. Those were great. Oh, hey, look, more stimulant. I know just what to use it on. Silent movement. Now I'm quiet until I'm not. I also found another atomic battery, so we just need one more and we're good to go in the interchange. Probably. Well, we're not getting any younger. Time to start forcing my way into the different interchange tunnels. I sneak my way around the outer perimeter of the camp, which conveniently isn't done yet, sneak between the multiple patrols that are currently circling the area, and with a little hop, skip, and a jump, make my way to the entrance. After that, it's a simple task of avoiding the turret's gaze, and we're home free, is what I would say if the place wasn't crawling with soldiers. Why did I choose this particular entrance again? But after immediately blowing my cover and sprinting into a nearby elevator shaft, I unlocked the interchange airlock, loaded up on atomic batteries, just in case, and did my best to redeem my sneak cred by avoiding setting off any of the ferals I found inside, with surprisingly positive results. I'm learning. And with Data Store Bravo unlocked, I found the power supply to Bravo site, which was thankfully not full of poisonous blue flowers. And with power restored, we now have access to all the lights, doors, and robots. Yep, turning on the power turned on the defense systems. Cool. So pro gamer tip, hiding behind wooden boxes does not protect you from a flamethrower, and trying to heal the burn effect while simultaneously burning is not very easy to do, just in case you didn't know. More pro gamer tips, the sticky bombs that were originally used as anti-tank weapons, yeah, they work real good against the robots. You can't kill a robot outright with them, but the explosion will overheat the robot's innards, making it vulnerable to a backstab. And by backstab, I mean just stealing its atomic battery. One less enemy to worry about, and one more battery added to my inventory. Win-win. I also found a note that explains that the signal redirector I keep hearing about is used to direct power from one source to another. Sounds useful. And it looks like the people that made the device were in robotics. Lucky for me, I just unlocked the place. So let's see if they have what we need. Hello? Hello? Where the heck is everybody? The only other living things down here aside from myself are the rats. And even that isn't true anymore. Oh, hey, a button.
This is Frank Stevens. The lower floor has been sealed and the lab powered down as instructed. Only a signal redirector device can be used to regain access, and I'm taking that secret with me. And if by some miracle you are listening to this, well, I am so sorry. The automated security will be powering up right about now.
Oh, is that what that stomping was? Well, nothing else we can do down here for now, so let's head on back to the surface. Oh, hello, don't mind me, forgot my wallet in the elevator. Well, that was a bummer. I mean, we did turn on one of the sites, so not a complete waste of time. But we're gonna need a signal redirector if we're gonna do any amount of snooping in the lower levels of the interchange. Right, getting out of this camp without being seen is nigh impossible, so let's take the shortcut. Down some painkillers, then sprint my way to the exit. Tom, Brian, how are the kids? Almost home free. Oh, you've gotta be kidding me. Honestly, you think you'd know better by now to call me in the middle of a chase? Hello?
This is the transaction. Oberon must die. If Oberon is dead, then the way out will open. Be careful. Trust only me.
Wait a minute, Dojabot? Is that you? Well, how about that? Good old Joe. I thought I recognized that voice. Ow. Well, with one site powered up, I guess it's time to power up another. We could go to the Dale, but we might as well see what we're getting into with the Casterfell Woods. Well, so far it's nothing we haven't seen before, and here I was worried. The way people were talking about this place, you'd think the devil himself lived here. Bees! Okay, so the bees are awful, and the ritualistic sacrifices strung up about the place are a bit tasteless, but it's not like the forest itself is out to kill you. What the hell is that? Is that thing alive? Ooh, poison darts, look out. Okay, fine. Between the so-called druids chasing me down if I so much as step into the woods, and the fact that nature is indeed fighting back, I don't think I want to spend any more time here than I have to. At least the poison bombs work well. Even the birds are against you. The druids use them as alarm systems, so if you aren't moving at a snail's pace, your position is probably known to every enemy in a 1-mile radius. But it's not all bad. I did find a message from someone named Joyce, who says she wants to turn on the radio towers in an attempt to get a message out for rescue. That's the most sane thing I've heard all day. I'm in. I go to the coordinates listed on her recording, and immediately know that we're with good people, judging by the decorations.
You haven't immediately tried to kill me, at least. That's a pleasant change.
Big mood, girl. Apparently, Joyce was part of an expedition trying to find out what happened here, but she's the last one left alive. She really wants to get into the interchange though, just like me.
Ha! Of course you did. And my aunt is a belted Galloway.
I'm confused. Should I be insulted, or are you actually trying to tell me about your aunt's lineage? Well, who knows. Maybe we'll be able to convince her we found a way into the interchange another time. Until then, though, I found a new trader.
Hello, no need to panic. I mean no harm.
No worries, buddy. We're all friendly here. You got a little something on your face.
I know I don't look, well, entirely normal. I mean, unless it don't trouble you at all.
You know what? You haven't tried to eat me yet, so you're probably fine.
But I promise you, I'm not gonna kill you and chew on your bones. Although I wish I hadn't said that now. Makes it sound like I might.
Ah! You know what, Billy? You're all right. Now let's see what you've got to trade. Billy, what have you got there? Is that a poison bomb recipe you've given me? And a skill book that teaches me how to harvest spores from the scary blue plants so I can make even more bombs? Yes, please. I'll take the lot. I couldn't find the entrance to the woods interchange though, so instead, I unlocked endurance training, which makes me able to sprint longer and recover stamina faster. Then, I made my way to the Dale interchange, which was delightfully unguarded. After that, it was a simple matter of opening up Data Store Charlie and plugging in one of the many batteries just rolling around in my inventory. Easy as that. Combine that with the explosive lure recipe I found, and the newly opened medical unit I just unlocked, and things are starting to look up. I hate this game. My God, just look at him. He's just standing there. Menacingly! Oh, wait, never mind. He can absolutely move and come after you, albeit very, very slowly.
Hello? Hello? The instrument's just registered an emergency access. Whoever's in here, I mean you no harm. I'm in Data Store Charlie. Get to me if you can.
Well. Looks like someone owes me an apology.
We meet again. Well, it seems I've greatly underestimated you. Think of all the secrets that might be hidden here.
Hey, can you hold that thought? I think there's a bandit in the room with us.
You're scuppered!
Yep, definitely a bandit. Maybe if we're quiet and don't move, she'll go away.
Scum!
Barbara, shush, the adults are talking. Long story short, Joyce has restored power to all those radio towers I keep seeing. Now all she needs is for me to go to them and set them up. Sounds simple enough. First stop, the radio tower in the Dale. All the bandits that guarded it are already dead, since I cleared this camp out ages ago, and the door opens easily. But the tower needs a keycard, and the last known whereabouts of the keycard are in the quarry cave down below the radio tower. There's a quarry cave under the radio tower? Well, I'll be. There is. Completely missed that my first walkthrough. And with zero fuss or muss, I find the original radio tower operator and steal his keycard for my own personal gain. Well, that wasn't bad at all. Only 2 more towers to go. On to Skethermore. I think I can already see it. Why does that phone box always give me such an ominous feeling? Hello?
Egg.
Good advice. I'll remember that. Right. Tower number 2. Same situation as last time. Needs a keycard. Note telling me where to find it. If I'm skimming this note correctly, it looks like I need to find bunker L1 near the greenhouses. Well, I did find a bunker over here. That's pretty close to the greenhouses, I guess. Could be worth a look. Naturally, it's surrounded by guards, but we just need to make it into L2. Well, it's that or get shot to death. I decided to explore the bunker to make it worth my while, burninating anyone who happened to get in my way. And wouldn't you know it, I found the special cargo crate we got the keycard for all those hours ago. And what's inside? Why, the signal redirector, of course. What a happy little accident. Basically, you can point this device at any junction box and redirect the electric current, which means you can unlock doors, turn off turrets, and even disarm alarms if you can find their power boxes. After escaping that bunker though, I went over to the greenhouses and discovered the bunker I needed was literally next to them, not nearby. What's more, I've already been in here. I thought I looted the place dry, but apparently I missed the keycard I needed. And here I thought I was being thorough. Turns out, I missed a small little wall window I could have scurried through. Silly me. Yep, there it is, just lying there waiting for me to take it. 2 down, 1 to go. The last tower is in the woods, but rather than go back to that hellscape again, I did end up finding the church basement key along the way somewhere. So we might as well see what's going on down there. What the heck is all this?
Slowly now. Come into the light where I can see you.
Well, I'll be. It's another blue man. Wait, where's your drum? My man here is Dr. Holder, a scientist who was trapped once the quarantine went into effect. He was originally trapped in the interchange, but managed to get out through a back passage. Oh, and also the horrible blue fungus stuff is slowly infecting everyone in the quarantine zone and will eventually work its way out into the rest of the world if we don't do something. And is also what's been inside the stimulants I keep injecting into myself. Oh, is that all? And here I thought I needed to panic! Well, too late to worry about that now. Holder needs me to go back into the medical facility and make my way even deeper inside, which should be possible now that I have Holder's keycard. And once we're there, we need to collect sample 1. Cool, that's fine. Definitely no spooky implications with a name like that. Holder does give me a free skill, infection resistance, which makes me take less damage from those blue spores floating around in the interchange. But I'm gonna be honest, Joyce's plan is almost done and sounds a lot easier than going into the deepest depths of the interchange. So I think I'm just gonna go finish that one if you don't mind. Woods radio tower unlocked, hidden bunker in the woods found, and keycard easily found after crawling through some vents. And just like that, the radio towers are back online.
Alpha, Kilo, Optimo, Tower, Aggravate, Delta, Status, Corpus, Sigma, Hotel, Dedicate, Alpha, Kilo, Execute.
So not gonna lie, that sounded a lot like Joyce. And a series of code words being announced on a broadcast, followed by the word execute, kinda makes me wonder if I'm teaming up with the right person. You know what I need right now? Some childlike wonder. Yeah. Oh hey, there's an entire park. Place your bets now on which objects we can interact with. The seesaws? Yep, those work. The merry-go-round? Yep, that works too. The slide? Oh my god, I can climb and ride the slide. 12 out of 10 game, no notes. Well, back into the interchange to see what Joyce has to say about the radio towers. And while I'm down here, we might as well test my theory that the nail bomb is better suited to pest control than the lure bomb. I think the results speak for themselves. You know what? We might as well use that new resistance we have to plug in Data Store Alpha as well. Yep, that's fine. Just take your time putting in the battery. My lungs don't burn or anything. And since we're here, I might as well hit up that lower level of medical too while I'm at it. You may call it hedging my bets, but I call it getting lost. So, I don't think Holder was lying about the stuff down here eventually spreading to the rest of the world if we don't stop it. Just a hunch. But after narrowly escaping several lumbering ferals and pulling a couple levers, I find my way into an auditorium and collect sample 1 from the table. Not exactly the easiest task I've ever done, but at least we've got it now. And after finding a skill book that unlocks all sorts of resistance skills, should I need them, I finally remember how to get back to Joyce. Hey Joyce, what was that weird signal I picked up?
Golly. Well, I didn't hear anything. It must have been an old recording. The zone is just riddled with them, so hardly surprising to hear one pipe up as the tubes start warming up again.
Press X to doubt. Press X to doubt! Well, that rules out Joyce's plan. I'm not sure what her motives are, but they're definitely suspect after a performance like that. Which means I guess Dr. Holder is our next best bet. Hey Holder, I got your sample.
But this is wonderful. For the first time in years, there's hope. A true, viable hope.
Sure, bud. So what's the sample do?
My plan is to contaminate this sample to render it toxic and then reintroduce it to the main growth. Now I need to get to work on this sample. But I can see you're curious and you've earned some answers, should you want them. Is there anything that you want to know?
Finally, some clear answers. Holder here tells me that Oberon is a codename for a meteorite that scientists found buried in the ground. The shell of the meteor was used to make atomic batteries and all the other technological marvels we've been seeing, but when the team dug too greedily and too deep, they found a hollow at the center of the meteorite. A hollow that held organic life that has been spreading like wildfire. And with this toxic weapon Holder is hoping to make, maybe we can kill the heart of the growing infection. But while Holder works on the weapon, he's asked if I would do him the kindness of breaking Dr. Garrow out of prison. Uh-oh.
I never thought I'd get the chance to see her again. It's vital I see her about something before we can leave.
Uh-oh. So while I try to figure out a way into the prison, let's talk shop. It's obvious that my guy Holder is a bit upset about being left behind. And Dr. Garrow, unless I've missed my mark, was one of the top scientists at the facility who just so happened to escape the quarantine that trapped the rest of her colleagues. Now, I'm not saying I have proof or anything like that, but I'm pretty good at reading people. And something tells me that letting Dr. Holder meet Dr. Garrow would be, how do you say, a bit of a disaster. Much like my attempt at stealthing my way into the Scuthermore prison. 1 HP in a dream. Not even close. So until we can talk to Dr. Garrow and get her side of the story, let's just assume we're not working with Dr. Holder either. Starting to run out of people I can work with though. Also, how big is this prison? Seems a bit much for the English countryside. But after gassing up a good number of soldiers from behind the pantry supplies, and devouring all of the Cornish pasties I can shove in my mouth like the little scamp that I am, I eventually make my way into the lower levels of the prison and start a distraction by letting out some of the prisoners. And with a little signal redirecting to remove some of the security features around the joint, and some very stealthy stealthing on my part, I eventually find Dr. Garrow.
Who are you then?
No time for any of that. I break my way into the control room, flip the lever to release the prisoners, and... Wait, where is she going? Dr. Garrow? Hello? Locked? Oh, you absolute boffin bit! Well, I guess it's time for a mad dash with the entire prison complex. Good thing I killed a lot of guards and disabled a lot of security on the way down. And after muttering a quick thanks to past Lemon, who decided to put points into the endurance skills, we've officially escaped prison. Now we just need to find Garrow. Yep, hold on, might be important.
Dr. Garrow is not honest. Dr. Garrow is responsible for much. Beware who your friends are.
Man, I don't know what's gotten into Joe lately, but he's been super serious the last few phone calls. Barely any mentions of eggs at all. Alright, Dr. Garrow, time to give some answers.
My apologies for running off like that, but discretion seemed very much the better part of valor at the time.
Well, that's a funny way of saying I locked the door behind me and left you for dead. Dr. Garrow tells me she's come back into the quarantine zone in order to take care of some business. She tasked me with going into robotics to recover her research notes, and asked that I not read anything else while I'm down there. Not exactly the most forthcoming character, is she? But hey, at least I stumbled into Data Store Delta and managed to turn the power back on, which means all the doors and power supplies are back in full operation. Now we just need to find a way out of the quarantine zone, and we should be good to go. At this point in the game, I've found 4 characters that are willing to help me out of the quarantine zone if I go along with their plan. But 2 of them are super suspicious, one of them is a feral who strikes me as the vengeful type, and one of them is a disembodied voice that talks in circles. So we're not exactly rolling in good choices here. Guess we'll just have to hedge our bets and slowly progress them all. I push the robotics, which is a bit harder than I make it sound, solve some puzzles to open a door or 2, and find the head office keycard that I need to get into Garrow's office. And immediately rummage through every bit of paper I can find, contrary to what Garrow asked me to do. And unsurprisingly, there's some damning evidence here. Apparently the science team suggested they stop drilling when they realized there was a cavity in the meteorite, but Garrow was the one who ordered them to push forward. So yeah, this entire thing is basically her fault. Hey Garrow, I got your notes. Mind explaining a few things?
Astonishing that Miss Tanner should escape the convoy ambush with nary a scratch. An unusually resourceful young woman, clearly.
I never said anything about Joyce getting ambushed. Great, now I have even more questions for you. One thing at a time, I guess. Why'd you tell everyone to keep drilling?
Try to understand. We were pushing back the very boundaries of known science. Britain depends on progress like ours. If she's to compete with the rest of the world, we couldn't afford any delays.
Ah, you're one of those so busy asking if you could, you forgot to ask if you should types. He and Malcolm would have a field day with you. But hey, before we go on about that, let's move some floor tiles around, yeah? Bring this doohickey back to life like Joe keeps telling me. Hang on to your butts. Yep, that's a science doohickey all right. And would you look at that? The door to Oberon is now open. Talking to Garrow, she asks if I can go to another facility where some of her research was sent as a backup. As a reward, she says that all the answers to my questions are in that database. Only 2 caveats though. The first is that the facility is in the woods, because of course it is, and the second is that she needs me to type in a code once I'm there. Gen Era. I have my suspicions about that one, but let's just go with it for now. I fight my way through the facility, which thankfully was mostly full of robots that are a lot easier for my build to fight and avoid than human enemies, then bring the facility back to life so I can access the data storage. And wouldn't you know it, a slight wrench in the plans.
Hello? Is that you? Or somebody else? Oh god, now I sound like an idiot. It's always isolation. There should be a console. Transfer what data you can from the memory banks onto a tape. Let me see. Yes. The Command Gen move should do it. Bring the tape to me when you're done. Or I'll no longer be able to help you. Good luck.
Well, that confirms 2 suspicions of mine. My first suspicion was that Joyce is only interested in the data here, not helping me get out. And the second is that the ERA part of Garrow's code is short for erase, which means that Dr. Garrow is only interested in covering her tracks. Hoo-wee, what a mess. Someone really ought to do something about that. In any case, first things first. Give me all the lore, please. And it's here that I was both disappointed and pleasantly surprised. I can ask for information on several different topics, ranging from atomic batteries to Dr. Holder to Oberon itself. The only topic the computer won't give me data on is Dr. Garrow, which figures. The disappointing part is that most of the information the computer gives me is redacted, which leaves some pretty big gaps in my understanding of what's going on around here. But that's where the pleasant surprise comes in. If you read through the files and compare them with other notes and rumors you've been collecting along the way, you actually have most, if not all, of the information you need to fill in the blanks. Like, take this one here, for example. The interchange facility was constructed in Cumberland as a covert infrastructure system to support Bard research staff and their study of Oberon. The facility can almost be considered a supercomputer, such as the computational power held by the central processor, and is supported by its 4 data stores. The interchange has its own atomic battery power supply, and is capable of functioning indefinitely in the event of nuclear attack, or even an assault by Godzilla. Okay, the last 2 I wasn't sure about, but I'm like 95% sure of the other bits. And while it's a small thing, it's this kind of lore diving that I appreciate. Not so vague that any interpretation is just as valid as any other, but not so direct that you gag on the spoon. And you don't even have to care about any of this. You could just as easily ignore every single NPC, delete the data, and be home by breakfast. You gotta love it. In any case, Dr. Garrow is obviously trying to use me to cover her tracks, so Gen move it is. I don't plan on giving the data to Joyce, but maybe it'll be a lifeline for me if things go completely sideways. You know what, Holder? You're not my first choice, but you're definitely not my last. Dr. Garrow's is in the interchange. Just thought you should know. Well, after several hours of running around, let's finish what we started. You two catch up yet? That a yes? After looting Garrow's still warm corpse, I found a letter on her person. Looks like she didn't come back because she felt guilty or because she wanted to stop the problem. Her career outside the walls of the quarantine was in jeopardy, and she wanted to remove anything that could be used against her. Can I read them or what? Anywho, I guess Dr. Holder is our best bet for now. Let's go poison us a meteorite. Well, that's not a promising start. Oh, thank God. Joe, just who I need to talk to right now.
Oberon is close. Oberon must die. Die must Oberon. If Oberon is dead, then the way out will open.
Well, why didn't you say so, Joe? That's all I needed to hear. Not exactly looking forward to burning my lungs in order to do that, but hey, the price of progress. I do my best to find the least spore-filled path through the site, a task easier said than done considering I'm being chased by ferals that... The hell is that? You know what? Doesn't matter. All that matters is that we stop this Lovecraftian nonsense and get out of here. This place is a bit of a maze, so it takes some time to find my way. Why is that thing a thing? Oh my God, is it looking for me? God, I hate this place. It's so alien, it makes my skin crawl. Though to be fair, that might just be the buggies I keep running past. But at long last, we've done it. We've made it to Oberon. It's more beautiful than I thought it would be. Now at this point, we've got several options. We can power up this sample extractor here and use it to get a piece of Oberon for Joyce. We can put Holder's poison into the fire suppressant system and use that to hose down Oberon with poisonous fluid. Or we can set up some explosives and blow up Oberon along with the entire facility. And while that last one does sound like fun, I don't think I get to survive in that scenario. So instead, I decided to go with option B. I turn on the fire hydrant looking things around Oberon, turn them on full blast, and watch as the poison begins to take hold. Judging by the deathly green glow and the sudden earthquakes, I think that might have done it, which means it's time to leg it out of here and get back to the surface. Christ on a bike! Well, glad to see I'm not the only one panicking. Oh, Joe, are you serious? Now? You better have good news for me.
You have succeeded. Go back to the beginning. Go back to where you awoke.
Ask and you shall receive, I guess. Back in the central processor, Dr. Holder also tells me that the poison was a success, and he can even feel it affecting the parts of him that are infected. So attacking the heart was in fact the right move. If I want to escape with him, he's waiting for me in the tunnels beneath the medical lab. There's just one teensy tiny problem with that plan. With the caves collapsing, a lot of the doorways are now blocked, and there's also boatloads of bandits, druids, and protocol soldiers in here fighting with one another. Combine that with my poor spatial awareness, and I have zero idea of how to get to the man. On top of that, Joyce technically is also offering me a way out of here. She says she's gone to meet her ride, and I can come along too, so long as I bring the notes and the sample. And while I've got one of those, I didn't bother getting a sample. So something tells me that ride out of here ends with me getting kicked out of a helicopter. Look, even Windham Village is going to the dogs. Looks like the druids have gone completely hostile and invaded the village, and the soldiers are not doing a very good job of keeping them at bay. No, when it's all said and done, I think the best answer is to trust the one person who never lied to me the entire time. Every other person had ulterior motives and did their best to manipulate me to accomplish them. But one voice was true. Good old Joe. Oh shit, we're passing by old Nat. Nat, come on, bud, you can finish playing Wonderwall later. We gotta get out of here. Nat? Right then, best of luck. And here we are, back to where it all began. Back to my origin. And I can hear Joe waiting for me. Time to end this madness and get out of here for good.
You have done well. Thank you.
Alright, Joe, get me out of here.
Do not distress yourself. I have never lied to you. And I tell you now,
Hey, that's not what we... banana bread. And there you go. One of the many endings to Atomfall. Probably not the one you would have chosen, but that's the beauty of the game, isn't it? The game goes through your general choices, showing you what exactly it was tracking throughout your gameplay, and then lets you know that with the death of Oberon, the interference fields will fall and the outside world will finally see what happened.
So ends the quarantine.
And that's it. Atomfall beaten with only explosives. Honestly, not bad at all. I was expecting a more difficult ride, but most of the legwork for this game is connecting the dots and exploring, and you can probably avoid most, if not all of the combat in this game, if you try hard enough. And the best part? This is just one of like 6 or so endings. And in the interest of time, I skipped over about 75% of the stuff I saw while playing, like side quests and NPC interaction. Hell, I played as the super nice guy when interacting with NPCs, but allegedly that changes dramatically if you decide that some NPCs are taking up too much air, if you catch my drift. Which makes me very curious about what a playthrough would look like if you, say, shot every single person you met and made a point of emptying the quarantine zone. But that'll have to be for another time. A big thank you again to Atomfall for sponsoring today's video. And thank you for watching. And if you want to add it to your own rotation, you can use my link in the description or pinned comment down below to play Atomfall for yourself, which is now available on all of these platforms. But other than that, that's all I've got. Take care of yourselves, be good to one another, and I'll see you all again soon.